Welcome back to We're Having Fun. It's the only podcast where we have fun. I'm Mark.
Stop. It's the only podcast where we have fun. We don't have fun with any other podcast.
Nope. Hate them all.
Oh,
so
goodness.
sad when we listen to them.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Oh, by the way, I'm Krista.
Hey.
Hi.
Welcome back for another week. Very busy, eventful weekend.
Yeah, weekend,
mainly, yeah. For us and for the world. As D23 occurred.
Yep.
Lots of announcements.
Some
We could probably hit highlights.
trailers. Yeah. I wrote down a whole list of everything they mentioned on that thing, and I am not going to talk about most of them.
Let's do like that D23 recap and not go into details.
Yeah. Because, I mean, it's like, oh, there's a new Haunted Mansion. There's a live-action Snow White. There's a Lion King prequel. It's like, and then they showed nothing about any of them.
Yeah. Disney is just like prequel and
Sequel
remake
and,
heavy right now.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Which I guess, they've kind of always been.
Yeah.
Except they just went to VHS instead of Disney Plus.
Yeah, I guess so. But anyway, yeah, we can talk about some highlights, I guess. So
things we're most interested in.
Yeah, so first, I would say Little Mermaid.
Yeah.
They're doing a live-action Little Mermaid. They've been talking about it for a while. They've had the cast out for a while.
Yeah.
I'm interested in watching it. That's about all. I mean, because it was one of my favorite ones growing up. I normally don't really care for the remakes. Pinocchio, they just came, or the live-action remakes. They just came out with Pinocchio on Disney Plus with Tom Hanks as Geppetto.
Skitty.
Stop it. Not that one. Not that one, please. Dear Lord.
Look up Pinocchio. Skitty.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, but this one, so I don't care really about Pinocchio, but Little Mermaid I'm interested in, so it should be good, hopefully.
Yeah.
They're doing a sequel to Enchanted called Disenchanted.
Yeah.
We watched the trailer for that, and
Looked pretty good.
It did. It looked very interesting because Giselle, the main character, looks like she's going to be turning into an evil stepmother.
Yeah,
what is
that
this?
was interesting.
Yeah.
So, we'll see. But you didn't really care for the first one, right?
I'm not that big of a fan of it. It's fine, but I've watched it like once.
Yeah.
So
I enjoyed it.
It was okay. Of course, Hocus Pocus 2, which we will be covering at some point in October, as it comes out at the end of this month. I think the 30th, maybe.
And you lost your mind when you saw your boy.
I did. I saw my boy Billy Butcherson. I was like, yes! So, pretty excited about that. Yeah, there was a bunch of other stuff there. They mentioned some new Pixar things. There's going to be an Inside Out 2. Which all I care about is if Sadness is back, because I just want to hear Phyllis Smith some more, because I like her.
Yeah.
Percy Jackson and the Olympians, I'm pretty excited about that one.
Yeah.
So they did a little teaser for it, which wasn't very much at all. It was just a little bit of stuff from Camp Half-Blood, but I'm looking forward to it. I'm rereading the books right now, so...
Okay.
So I'm getting into that one again. Let's see, Black Panther Wakanda Forever will be coming out soon.
Yeah.
So...
Hopefully it's good.
I hope so.
It's going to be Namor and all that. War against Atlantis. So that'll be interesting, I hope.
Yeah, they had a bunch of Marvel stuff, so we were sitting there watching and they were like, New World Order! And then I saw
Captain
Tim Blake Nelson.
Yeah.
And I was like, wait, what? He's back!
Yeah, the leader's back, baby.
That'd be incredible.
They're finally delivering on it. Okay. Like, 14 years later?
Oh my gosh. So, that was interesting.
They're kind of trying to pay off all the Hulk stuff now, I guess, with Abomination.
I guess so, because they're just bringing all these people back.
Yeah.
Like, okay, but where's Betty Ross? Is that her name?
Yeah.
Where's she at?
She's busy.
Bring her back. So then we have Werewolf by Night, which is some kind of special presentation thing.
And they're doing it kind of like an old Universal's monster movie.
Yeah.
Which I think it's going to be kind of fun.
It could be.
Because any other way to do Werewolf by Night, who cares? I'm sorry. There's a million werewolf movies out there, and some are better than others. And it's like, it's not really going to do anything different. But then you make it into a weird, like, campy
if they can pull it off, it should be fun.
Yeah, it looked kind of silly. So I'm all for it.
They had a new trailer for I say a new trailer. They haven't had a trailer for it yet, but a trailer for Secret Invasion.
Yeah, which I still don't care about. I'm sorry. I don't like the scrolls.
Yeah.
It might be good, but I don't care.
Maybe. I don't know. They didn't have anything for Loki season 2. They just said, oh, it'll be coming out next year. No month. No date for it.
They brought out the cast and stuff. Kang's gonna be back.
Yeah, okay.
And that's about all we know.
They brought out the cast also of Daredevil Born Again.
Mm-hmm.
What's his face doing there?
I don't know. Vincent D'Onofrio, he's probably like, hey guys, I know I'm not going to be in this because I'm dead. But, watch it anyway. I think he was also out there for the Echo TV series as well.
And see, I said that my theory, because, Kingpin is dead, so he can't be Kingpin anymore. So obviously, he is reprising his role of Thor from Adventures in Babysitting.
Mm-hmm. Yep. It's obvious.
There's going to be a new Indiana Jones movie, which I guess is the last Indiana Jones movie because Harrison Ford is like... I hope so. Because Harrison Ford's like, I'm not doing this again, and no one else can do it after me, so it sucks to be you guys if you want more.
Indiana Jones.
But he seemed really excited about it, so...
He was really choked up.
Wait a minute, Harrison Ford is showing emotions.
It was weird.
Not anger. What is this?
It was weird.
So Andor is going to be starting soon on Disney Plus.
Uh-huh.
The end of this month, I think.
Probably.
It was like September 21st, something like that. So I'm still not really interested in it.
Yeah, I don't care about it.
I'm sure I'll probably watch it, but I don't care that much about... I don't care about his character, really, and I don't know, whatever. They briefly mentioned Ahsoka.
Yeah, and some, Jedi Legends thing.
And
animated shorts.
Oh, Tales of the Jedi.
Yeah.
And Skeleton Crew, which they still haven't said anything about other than Jude Law's in it.
Yeah, Jude Law's in the new Peter Pan and Wendy and this. He's all over Disney right now. Yep.
Then, of course, Mandalorian Season 3 will be coming out. They have a trailer for it, and it has lots of Baby Yoda. Grogu.
Yeah,
so yeah. I was excited to see it. I had to watch it twice because I was like, oh, he's so cute.
He is still very cute.
Very cute. But I guess we're going to go to Mandalore on this season because lots of Mandalorians in it.
Looks like it.
Then the only other two things, Willow. So they have a new trailer for Willow, and the other thing is Avatar: The Way of Water. Oh my gosh, aren't you excited?
They still really haven't released anything about it.
They're like, it's about protecting family. It's like, okay, I still don't care.
Nobody cares.
I still don't care.
A couple other things they did was Ant-Man and the Wasp, the next one, into the Quantum Verse or whatever. Yeah. Quantum Mania.
Yeah, Quantum Mania.
And Kang's going to be the bad guy in that. And then they also revealed the Thunderbolts, at least some of them, which is Yelena, U.S. Agent, Red Guardian, so David Harbour's going to be back.
Yes! Yeah. Okay, I'm excited about that then.
Yeah, Taskmaster.
Okay.
Oh, calm down.
I'm less excited about that.
Let's see, the Elaine from Seinfeld.
Yeah, Valentina.
Yeah, Valentina. Whatever. And there's one other. Who was it?
I don't know because I didn't see whatever you saw.
Dang. Well, anyway, I'll look it up. But that was about it. So, Ironheart also. Yeah. And
Armor Wars.
Yeah, and Armor Wars. And in Ironheart, who's the bad guy of Ironheart?
It's like Antonio Ramos.
Yeah, but as who?
It's like Red Hood or something.
Red Hood, yes. I like Red Hood.
Okay.
He's kind of a low-level guy, but I like him. He's mystic arts, and the Hood is possessed by a demon or something.
Okay.
Yeah. Winter Soldier, of course. He's going to be on there.
Oh, okay.
So Sebastian Stan's back.
Hey, anytime we have Sebastian Stan back, I'm for it. Yeah. So.
Oh, and Ghost is also going to be on there. From
Ant-Man 2?
and the Wasp.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just call it Ant-Man 2.
Ant-Man 2.
You know what I mean. Yeah, exactly.
Oh, and the Marvels, apparently, they're going to be swapping places a lot, and their powers are going to be getting mixed up for some reason and everything.
Okay.
So they're going to be just trying to untangle all the craziness going on in their world. All three of them, so...
Interesting.
Should be interesting coming up.
Yeah, there's so much.
There is.
It's too much, honestly. It's too much for my poor little brain to comprehend.
At least it's all once a year so that we can just process it over the year until the next one.
Oh, D23?
Until we get more details later. Yeah.
And also, it's the 100-year anniversary of Disney.
Yeah. Yep.
So they had a new, like, castle opening kind of thing.
Yeah.
Which looked kind of cool. Because I was like, oh my gosh, like, I even care. And then I watched it and I was like, okay, it's kind of cool. Dang it. Disney, why? Why do you bring me in again? Yeah, so.
Here we go again.
But anyway, I guess that was pretty much all.
Pretty much.
I don't know how long D20... I don't know if D23 is still going on and they're still announcing stuff. Or if yesterday was like the last day or what.
Yeah, I don't know if it's happening Sunday or not. Well, I guess we'll see.
Yeah,
that's all we know about at time of recording.
Yeah, and there are things that we did not mention also because I don't care about some of those things.
Like the Fantastic Four got a director. It's like,
oh, wow, okay, who cares?
I want to know the cast.
It's like, tell me who's playing who.
Yeah.
That's all I care about.
That's all I care about.
So, yeah. Do you want to briefly talk about the other thing that we watched that we normally, I'm assuming we probably wouldn't normally talk about? Rings of Power?
Rings of Power? Yeah.
Okay. Because there's not really that much that we can talk about with it.
Yeah.
I mean, we could, but I don't really feel like talking about.
Yeah.
Going into detail.
Yeah.
I am enjoying it so far, though.
I do too, yeah. I think it's pretty good.
I feel like they're not keeping to the lore specifically, and I know a lot of people are kind of annoyed at that, but I'm like, I don't really care that much.
Yeah.
I mean, I just reread The Silmarillion.
Yeah.
Which this is not the Silmarillion, of
course.
Because they don't have the rights to the Silmarillion. They have the rights to, like, the appendices for Lord of the Rings. So anything that is mentioned, like, in Lord of the Rings or in the appendices, they can talk about.
Yeah.
So everything else is just like, okay.
Who has the rights to it? Just the family?
Yeah,
or,
the Tolkien estate.
They're just not wanting
They're
to
like,
sell
no,
it.
you can't have the Silmarillion. You can have this one little tiny section. But that's all you can have.
Mentions Silmaril or something like that.
They did. They can mention if something was mentioned in the appendices.
Okay.
Then they can mention it. So they can mention the Silmarils, and they can mention some like names of different people. But they can't go into all of the stories from the Silmarillion, which is funny.
All right.
So we do have some returning characters from Lord of the Rings stuff. So you've got Galadriel, of course. She's like a main character.
Yeah. She's pretty good.
Yeah, pretty good. Of course, she's like taking up some kind of warrior position.
She wants to kill.
Yes, she's going after Sauron because he was like Morgoth's right-hand man, and they had like
Morgoth.
Yeah, they had this big battle. They defeated Morgoth, but Sauron got away, and her brother was killed. The way they have it in the show, it looks like he was killed in that battle, but he wasn't. He was killed somewhere else. So that's kind of funny, but it was by Sauron and his guys.
Okay.
So, I mean, it was still his fault, but it was just weird the way they did it. So she's kind of like going after him, trying to get him because he's in hiding right now. And she's trying to find him. And all the other people are like, we don't really care. It's like a peaceful time right now. Just like give it up.
Just enjoy the peace.
We'll deal with it later if it happens.
Yeah, they're kind of dumb. I mean, if they just had this big uprising, like, why would they not, like, want to end that? Be prepared.
Yeah, but you have to keep in mind that this is just all made up anyway. This is probably not how Tolkien would have.
Well, yeah, but still.
But yeah. So she gets sent off somewhere. She jumps off the boat. She ends up on the island of Numenor, and so we get to meet some Numenorians. So that's kind of cool. Then of course we have Elrond. He's going to be helping make the rings, I guess. Yeah. The Rings of Power.
Celebrimbor.
And we also get to meet the dwarves who are living in Khazad-dûm. So you get to see Khazad-dûm at its height, I guess, before they...
Peak Khazad-dûm.
Yeah, before they have to leave there, before everything goes bad. Then you have an elf that is, like, guarding the Southlands.
Yeah.
And he's in love with a human that lives there, but the towns there are being attacked by orcs. And one of his friend in there, not the older not the older elf, but the one who's like goes into town with him. He looked so familiar to me, and I realized I looked him up, and I was like, I have seen this guy before. He was on this show that I watched like in 2001, and I recognized him.
Thing, the Teen Wolf, whatever it was.
No, it wasn't that. No,
Big Wolf on Campus.
It was not Big Wolf on Campus. He was not in that. It was a British show.
Oh, okay.
And I recognized him. I was like, oh my gosh.
What show
That's
was
that
it?
guy. It was called 24/7.
Oh, okay.
It was only like 1 or 2 seasons, but I remembered him on there. And anyway, it was just really weird because I was like, I know he looks so familiar. I'm like, why do I recognize this guy that was in the show from so long ago?
Yeah.
But as soon as I saw his name, I was like, oh, it's that guy. It was really weird. But anyway, so then we also have the Harfoots, who are like the
Hobbitses.
Yeah, they're like hobbits. The hobbits are kind of made up of 3 different types, and the Harfoots are one of them. So the Harfoots, the Fallowhides, and the Stoors. And so we get to meet some of them. So we have little hobbits, and there's a guy who crashes down he falls from the sky.
Who could it be?
And and he's just called the Stranger right now, so we don't know who it is. So there's some speculation of who it could be, but the names that people have been calling him, because of course in the show he's just the Stranger, but people have been calling him the Meteor Man, which is kind of weird. But who do you think it is?
Gandalf.
Yeah, that's what I think it is too. I mean, if it's not Gandalf, then it's going to be weird. It's got to be a wizard, I would think.
You would think so.
But I also feel like Saruman was the first wizard to come to Middle-earth, but I don't know.
Could be.
So
Seems too nice to be Saruman.
yeah, but Saruman was a nice guy, and he was like...
Was he, though?
He was.
Was he, though?
He was!
When?
Long before The Lord of the Rings. But yeah, so it's pretty interesting so far. I'm enjoying it. And of course, I keep looking, like, different things are happening in there, and I'm like, I don't think that would happen, but I just try to, not pay too much
just
attention.
take it as its own story.
Exactly.
Don't hold it to any stuff.
Because I'm pretty sure in this, they're trying to make it where Galadriel is single. And I'm like...
And ready to mingle.
I'm like, okay, but she's been married for a long time before this happens. But okay, sure. Maybe she just hasn't met her husband who, is from this place that doesn't even exist anymore on the map. But sure, okay.
It's a tale in the world of Lord of the Rings.
So, whatever. As long as you just don't think too much about it and just sit and enjoy it, I think
take it as like a fanfic.
Yeah, I think it's pretty fun. So
yeah.
I'll definitely keep watching it.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's move to She-Hulk.
Yes.
We need to get moving. Mm-hmm. She-Hulk.
Episode 4.
What happened?
What happened? Well, we start off with Donnie Blaze.
Oh, yeah. A magician, Donnie Blaze.
He's a magician. He's doing his little show.
A sling ring.
He calls up an audience participant. And Madison, with 2 N's and a Y, but not where you think. So, yeah, she gets up there. Yeah. And he uses a sling ring.
Because he's bombing, and it's like, gotta do something.
Gotta do something to impress the people.
He actually uses actual magic.
Yeah, and it sends her to another dimension where there are like goblins. Mm-hmm. And a goat demon
helps her escape.
So sends her to wherever Wong is.
Yeah. And
Wong is sitting there just trying to watch The Sopranos.
Yeah.
And she shows up.
And spoils
the episode for him. And he's like, come on. And he's like, Donnie Blaze. So, yeah.
So he wants to file a cease and desist against Donnie Blaze.
Yes.
Stop using magic, basically.
Stop using this as just a cheap human trick kind of thing.
Yep. So he goes to She-Hulk.
Yep. He hires She-Hulk.
Yeah.
She-Hulked. Yep. I was going to say and then I was like, what am I trying to say? I don't know. But yeah, he hires her.
She-Hulk is in the dating field. Mm-hmm. She's got her profile up on Matched. What is it called? I can't remember.
I don't know what it was.
It's something, some dating site.
It looked kind of Tinder-ish, but
Matcher, I think might have been what it
probably
was.
Something like that. It's probably a mix of Match and Tinder.
Yeah.
But yeah, so she's swiping on people.
She put up a profile as Jen.
Yes.
And later she puts one up as She-Hulk. Gets a lot better results.
Oh yeah, definitely. But she does go on one date as Jen. Yeah. And it does not go very well.
He sucks.
And he walks out and he's talking on the phone as he's walking. He's like, yeah, she's like a 6. I'm like, excuse me?
Yeah, no, she is hot.
What the heck are you talking about?
Real pretty.
I do not understand why these people are just acting like she's some like mousy thing just because, she's like wearing glasses or whatever. It's like, come on.
Curly hair, I guess.
And curly hair and glasses. It's like, no. Do you not even look at her?
Yeah, seriously.
Come on.
That guy.
That guy
should take who he can get.
It's like, well, if you think she's a 6, then you're like a 2.
Yeah.
Sorry.
You're nothing.
Anyway, so all of that's happening, and then we have Wong's case against Donnie Blaze, and they bring in Madison as a witness.
Yep, and she's
like, Wongers! Oh my god!
She was a hit on this episode. I did not expect it.
I didn't
either.
But
she was amazing.
She was real fun.
I was like, oh, this stupid girl. Oh, crap. I like this girl. She's so stupid. It's great.
Yeah. And I told you, I was like, this is the kind of character that if I were ever to like act, that's who I would want to be. I would want to be acting in that part right there. Because it's so ridiculous, but real funny.
Yeah.
So yeah, she's a witness. And doesn't really help him that much with her testimony.
She's like, it was fun, and then it was scary, and then it was fun again. And it was spooky. And then
So they're like, well, that's what magic's supposed to be. It's supposed to be fun and spooky and everything.
Yeah, but they can't get him to stop yet. They're gonna take it to trial or whatever.
Yeah.
Even Donnie's lawyer was a magician.
My next note was literally, even the lawyer's a magician.
And this is not Johnny Blaze. This is not Ghost Rider.
No, this is Donnie Blaze.
Yeah, this guy is nothing.
Oh, and we didn't say that he used to be at, what is it, Camartage? Is that the name of the place?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, so he was
in training.
He was in training, and he
did something.
I guess he just
what did he do?
Failed out or something. I don't know.
I can't remember. He did something that messed up a lot of stuff, I think.
I don't know. So then this is when she makes her She-Hulk dating profile, and she gets matches like immediately.
Yeah.
And so she goes on several dates.
Some real creeps.
Yeah.
Kind of like fetish guys.
One of them calls her a specimen, and she's like, excuse me.
He obviously wants to like
Gross.
dissect her, whatever, like try it, see what hurts her. He's fascinated with it.
Yeah, it's like, get out of here, bro.
It's real weird.
But then she goes on a date with a pediatric oncologist, and she's like, oh, okay.
All he wants to do is listen
to her, and
I don't want to talk about myself.
And she's like, okay, you're saying all the right things. Plus, you heal sick children.
Yeah.
You're like perfect.
And he wants to get fries for the table.
Yeah.
And she's like, we'll get them to you, buddy.
Yeah, I'm taking you home.
Yep.
So, meanwhile, of course, Donnie Blaze is doing his show. He screws something up.
Yeah, he makes a portal to like a demon world, basically. Yeah,
and the demons start coming out in the middle of his performance. So he gets in touch with Wong, and he's like, Wong, you've got to help me. And so Wong's like, all right, well, call my lawyer, call up Jen.
Yep.
And she's on her date. So she's like, I'm not answering this phone. Busy. But then Wong shows up and is like, I've been trying to call you. Help me.
Yeah.
So she has to go help.
Yep.
And they throw all the demons back.
Mm-hmm.
Although it looks like they just put them in.
Yeah, they like put them in the Arctic or something. Like, that's a bad way to just resolve this.
Yeah, it looked a lot like where
Scarlet Witch was.
Yes.
Yeah.
In
Doctor Strange.
Multiverse of Madness.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's like, are those demons still just
that
like
was a good idea.
Flying around out there? I don't know.
We'll see.
But
or we may not. They'll probably just drop in.
Probably. But anyway, when they're done, he sends her back.
Yep.
And she gets to have the rest of her date.
It goes very well.
It goes very well. She carries him to the bedroom.
Yeah. And then, read. They read a nice story and go to sleep.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. It's very
They have milk and cookies.
Nice.
It's beautiful.
Then the next morning,
yeah,
she gets up. She's like watching the news or whatever.
As Jen.
And he comes in and sees her as Jen, and he is not interested anymore. And I'm like, you are so dumb.
Oh yeah, I was like, this guy.
What is wrong with you?
I don't understand.
Yeah. I don't get it.
Yeah.
But she hears on the news that Titania is free now. She gets a knock on the door. She goes to answer it. And it's a guy who is...
process server or whatever it is.
So he's serving her papers.
Yeah.
She's being sued by Titania for the misuse of a trademark.
Yeah.
Which apparently she has trademarked She-Hulk.
It's like, oh, come on.
Come on, man.
So, yeah. The name she really didn't even want.
Exactly. She's like, now I'm stuck with it, and now someone's suing me for it. Come on.
Yep.
And then, of course, there's a little
tag at
the end, and it's Madison and Wongers. I'm only going to call them Wongers, I guess, for now.
They hang out now.
They're hanging out watching more TV.
Yeah.
And
I don't remember what they were watching.
I don't know. Maybe they were still watching Sopranos, but they were talking about drinks.
Yeah.
They're talking about like favorite drinks, because she's like, have you had this drink? Have you had that drink? And then, what's your favorite drink? And he's like, gin and tonic. And she's like, oh my God, Wongers!
Unlimited gin and tonic.
So, yeah. I guess they're like BFFs now.
Yeah. Yeah. She was so ridiculous. It was great. Loved her.
Yep.
So it was a pretty good episode. Mm-hmm. The dating stuff wasn't as like dumb as I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, it wasn't as
through
cringy.
The trailers.
Yeah, that was like one of the cringiest moments in the trailers to me.
Yeah.
But it wasn't too bad.
Yeah, no, it went well.
I still don't like the CGI. I know that people
no.
I just try not to pay attention to it.
Yeah.
Because she's just like a cartoon, basically, in the middle of a live action thing.
Yeah, that's true.
And I don't know. But
yeah, that's really the only knock I have against it, though.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. Well, then, all right. Let's move on because we got a lot to cover here for our main attraction. Mm-hmm. You finally invested in Amazon Plus.
No,
which
Amazon Prime.
Prime, whatever. And that's why we watched Rings of Power.
Yes, because that's why I got it, because of Rings of Power. Because I've been saying, since they said Rings of Power is coming out in September, I'm like, well, I guess in September I'm getting Amazon Prime.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So we watched Paper Girls.
Yeah, because that was another thing that we wanted when I said, okay, I'm getting Amazon Prime in September.
Yeah.
We'll watch Paper Girls then.
Yeah.
So that's what we watched.
Which, yeah, we both read the graphic novels. Both liked them. Mm-hmm. So I was excited for the show.
Yeah, and we've talked briefly in previous episodes about reading them. Mm-hmm. But
so if you haven't read them, go read them before listening to this, because don't spoil this for yourself.
And go watch the show.
And watch the show, too.
Because honestly, they're not the same.
Yeah, they're not. They're different stories. But what we're going to say is very similar. Yeah. So, it gives away a lot. So, just because it's really worth it, I think.
I mean, it's like 6 volumes long.
Yeah, and they're easy reads.
They're pretty quick to read, so you could probably read them in a day.
Mm-hmm. Go to your local library. Mm-hmm. All right, well, let's go.
Okay.
All right. We're going to try not to go into too much detail.
Yeah.
Because we don't want this to be 3
overly
hours long. Yeah.
I don't. I'm not going to say anything.
Don't say that.
So, episode 1, we start off with a woman in her room, and it sounds like someone is breaking into her home.
Ali Wong, right?
It's Ali Wong, yes. Yeah. And then it just kind of like, that's it. That's all you get for that part.
Like, oh, okay.
So then we go to 1988. Mm-hmm. It is Hell Day, which is November 1st.
Yeah.
Because it's right after Hell Night, right after Halloween. And we have the 4 main characters, our paper girls. You have Erin, Tiffany, KJ, and Mac. Mm-hmm.
Erin's a Chinese girl. Mm-hmm. Mom's very protective. Doesn't speak much English.
Yep.
Doesn't want her to do this job, but she's doing it anyway.
Yeah.
She's being independent. KJ plays field hockey, I guess. She's kind of an athlete.
Yeah. She's Jewish.
She's Jewish.
She's getting ready for her
some money.
She's getting ready for her bat mitzvah. Mm-hmm. And her dad owns a bank or something.
Yeah. Tiff's real smart. Uh-huh.
Don't really know much about her home life, but yeah, she's been working for a little while, getting up all the money that she can buy the best walkie-talkies. Mm-hmm. And then you have Mac, who comes from an abusive home, basically. Yeah,
she's like a tomboy, kind of deal. Her tough.
Dad drinks a lot, and I think beats up on her and maybe her brother too.
Yeah, probably.
And probably the stepmom.
Probably.
The stepmom just kind of sleeps all the time.
Yeah. Probably she's depressed.
Yeah. And her older brother, Dylan, is kind of a bully.
Yeah. And he just kind of sucks.
Yeah. So, they're the only 4 paper girls, I guess, in the neighborhood. They may be the only people.
That route.
Yeah. I don't know. They may be. We never see any other paper people. Yeah. So, who knows? Maybe they're the only ones in the whole town.
Could be.
But we find out that some boys have, cornered one of the girls. KJ. Yeah. And the others go help her. Mm-hmm. And then they decide that they're going to do their route together.
Yeah.
So they might split up into twos at one point, but they're going to kind of stay all together. They'll have their walkie-talkie or Tiff's walkie-talkies so that they can kind of keep in contact and make sure that nobody, gets hurt.
Messes with them because, it's the toughest night of the year. So.
Yeah. And it's Aaron's first night doing it, or first morning, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So, unfortunately, Aaron gets attacked by somebody, and the walkie-talkie is stolen, and they run after the guys that stole it.
And they yell on the walkie-talkie, yo, we're coming to get you, dog, because they hear somebody talking on it.
Yeah.
And they're like, watch your back.
Yep. And so they follow them to like this abandoned house, and they go in there, and it's these weird guys. They've like
got scarred up faces.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they speak weird language. Mm-hmm. And
so they're like, okay, well, they don't get the walkie-talkie, but they just kind of run out because it's like, these guys are weird. I don't know who these people are.
The electricity like goes out and starts sparking everywhere and stuff, and they're like, yeah, there's gonna be a fire. We need to go.
So they run outside, and they notice that the sky is like this pinkish purple kind of color, and they're like, this is weird. All the lights are out.
Nobody's around.
Yeah, nobody's out and about.
No traffic or anything.
And so Mac is like, well, my house is closest. Let's just go there. So they go to Mac's house, and there's nobody there. Her dad and her brother who work at the factory and should not be at work yet.
Right.
Are not there.
Yeah.
Their stepmother's not there. It's real weird. And they keep hearing all these noises. So Mac grabs a gun.
Uh-huh.
And it's like, Mac, what are you doing?
All the other girls are like, no,
put that away.
Stop.
And so while they're wrestling it, trying to get her to put it away, she accidentally shoots Aaron.
Yes, just right in the stomach.
So, yikes.
I go, oh my gosh. So, of course, they drive her to the hospital.
Yep.
Tiffany drives and doesn't really know how to drive very well, but she's doing okay.
Yeah, she's doing fine. And luckily, there's nobody on the road anyway, so it doesn't matter.
That helps.
But it's like, okay, if nobody's on the road, nobody's in anywhere that you can see, is there going to be anybody in a hospital?
Yeah, probably not.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's not looking good for her.
Yeah, so then they get stopped by these people in white uniforms, like white armor, and they're basically attacked by these guys.
Yep.
But the two guys that took the walkie-talkies grab them and take them somewhere. Yeah. It's kind of all jumbled at this point. You can't really tell what's going on.
There's a lot going on, yeah.
But they put them inside of a machine.
Yep.
Like a pod kind of thing. They're all in there together. And
they put some bugs on Erin.
Yeah.
Some like fireflies looking things.
On her stomach.
Yeah.
And then they get out of the machine. It stops it stops making noises, and they get out of there, and they're in like a field or like a forest kind of thing. And so they're not where they were before.
Yeah, they're like, you're a long way from home. They start actually talking English, the other guys, because they have like translators.
Yeah, and they're trying to get them to go back into the pod thing, but they just run off, and of course these people in white are there also, and they start blasting. Yeah, they just start shooting people. They shoot the two guys that took them, and the girls are like hiding, and one of them comes up and is gonna shoot them. Oh, after one of the guys gets shot, he hands Tiff this device.
Yeah.
And then they run off.
Just this little rectangle.
Yeah. And she shows the device to the guy who is about to shoot him, trying to get him to leave him alone, basically. Mm-hmm. And
he's like, are you underground?
Yeah.
You underground?
Exactly. And
like, we don't know what you're saying.
What you're talking about. And so by the time he's... while all this is happening, KJ's like, you know what? I feel very threatened right now.
Yeah.
So she just smacks him with the hockey stick a couple of times and kills him.
Yep. She whacks him good, man.
Yeah. And then she's like, oh my God, is he breathing?
Yeah.
Did I just kill someone?
Did I kill a man?
Yes, you did.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which, man, he went down. He had a glass jaw, I guess.
I guess so.
It's just 2 whacks. He was done.
Yeah. So they're like, well, we've got to get out of here. We've got to get away from whatever's happening. Mm-hmm. So they run to Erin's house.
Yep.
And she's calling for her mom and for her sister.
Yeah.
But some other woman runs downstairs.
Yep.
And it's Ali Wong.
Yep.
And she's like, what are you doing in my house? And Erin's
this
like...
is where it started.
Yeah.
The episode.
That's who she heard.
Mm-hmm.
In the house. So she's like, what are you doing in my house? And Erin's like, what are you doing in my house? And it turns out this is adult Erin.
It's adult Erin.
Traveled into the future.
2019.
They're in 2019.
Yep.
So there we go.
Uh-oh.
So they're time traveling paper girls.
Yep. That's where it's like, whenever I told you about it, I was like, they're paper girls, and then stuff happens.
Stuff happens.
It gets crazy.
I think you said something about time travel.
Maybe. Maybe. I don't know that. I think because you were like, you mad at me that I wouldn't tell you more. I'm like, oh. All right, there's time travel a little bit.
A little bit? The whole thing is time travel.
I'm just trying not to spoil it for you.
It's so funny, though, because I'm like, that's really all you can tell me?
Yes. You have to trust me. Yeah.
So yeah, that's the first episode. So
yeah,
starting off strong.
Yep.
And it was very similar to the first part of the comic books.
Yeah.
And so then we go on to episode 2, where we find out that adult Erin, because they call her older Erin, and she's like, I don't want to be called older Erin. I don't like that. But so I just wrote her down as adult Erin. She'd
be like 40 something at this point, I guess.
I guess so.
It's 19.
That sounds about right.
Yeah.
So we find out that she's a paralegal. So she's not a senator like Erin wanted to be when she grew up.
I mean, she was going for president even. Yeah. She had they all kind of had big dreams. Big dreams, well, at least 2 of them. Yeah. 3 of them.
3, yeah, technically.
I think KJ's probably the one that didn't have like huge dreams.
Well, KJ was going to go to business school.
Okay, so they all did.
Yeah. Well, what was...
Mac had, like, she was getting out of town, and she's gonna live her life.
She just wanted to get away from her abusive family.
Exactly.
So, yeah, she's a paralegal. Her mom has recently died. And she had been taking care of her for a while. And she doesn't really talk to her sister anymore. Yep. They had, like, a falling out or whatever.
Young Erin's like, where are our kids? Are we going to wake them up or anything?
Yeah, like, where's our husband? It's like,
bad news.
Like, I mean, I got some anxiety pills. Yeah. That's about all I got going for me right now. So she lets them stay and sleep through the night and everything.
Give them some clothes, some sweet Dave Matthews Band t-shirts.
Yeah.
Which I respect. I'm a low-key Dave Matthews Band lover. It was great. What? Anyway.
Okay, so we might have to cut this one short because we might be breaking up right now. No, I'm kidding.
It's looking bad.
No, I don't care one way or the other. As long as you're not like a James Mayer.
John Mayer? John. I hate James Mayer. John Mayer I love.
Why did I say James? Where did that come from? John Mayer. Oh gosh. If you tell me that you like the song Your Body is a Wonderland, I will break up with you.
If I just sing it to you, will that be okay?
No, okay. You cannot. I don't like that song. That song made me wreck my car once. Okay, it wasn't the song. It was the sun shining in my face.
That would do.
But yeah, I still like to blame John Mayer.
John Mayer's glory.
I still like to blame James Mayer about that.
James.
I can't believe I said that. It's ridiculous. Anyway, so while the other ones are asleep, Mac goes out.
Yep.
And she finds that her house is gone.
Yep.
It's been bulldozed or whatever. And KJ follows her there.
Yep.
They talk about, she doesn't like KJ because KJ's rich.
Yeah.
And she's like, yeah, well, I still have to deal with people who hate Jewish people and stuff like that. All these anti-Semites and everything. So, everybody has problems in their lives.
Yeah, yeah.
The next morning, they all go back to the woods where the guy KJ killed. They're trying to find him.
Yeah.
And he's gone.
Trying to find that pod, too.
Yeah, and the pod, but all of it's gone.
Yep.
So,
her hockey stick's gone.
Yeah, don't know what happened to it.
Yep.
So they show the device thing that was given to Tiff. They show it to adult Erin, and she's like, well, I don't know what this is, but I might be able to find somebody who can fix it and figure out what it is. So they go to this repair guy.
Yeah, who she had a one-night stand with, basically. Or something. Yeah.
And he ends up frying it. And they're like, dang it.
Well, no, it fries the charging
Or it fries
thing.
the charging. But, I mean, it messes up. It's still not working either.
Yeah.
So Tiff is like, well, maybe we should go to the older version of me because I think that I would probably be a better person to help us. And they just take off, the 4 of them. And they're trying to get to wherever older Tiff is. But adult Erin somehow gets the device to work.
Yeah.
And she starts seeing...
She clears some stuff out of it or something.
And then it reboots or whatever. And then she starts seeing the screen in front of her eyes. And she's like, this is distracting. Especially when I'm trying to drive. But
it's like arming something.
Yeah.
She's freaking out.
So the girls it's late, I guess, by this time, and they have to find a place to stay, so they go to this abandoned mall. And I thought that this was going to go where it goes in
the comics,
because they go into an abandoned mall then.
And they see like a rift or fold,
Yeah, but that didn't happen. I was like, wait a minute.
Huh.
Well, okay.
Right.
Weird.
Yeah.
I was not expecting.
They did things a lot different.
Yeah, so they changed a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
But while they're there, they kind of get into a little bit of a fight, and Mac leaves.
Yeah, Mac leaves a lot.
She does.
She's very emotional.
Yeah. And then the bad guy, who's called the Prioress.
Yeah.
She has KJ's hockey stick.
Yeah. She's trying to figure out who she is.
Mm-hmm. And traces it to KJ's parents' home and goes in and I guess kills him.
I guess so, yeah.
Because you like hear screaming and then she just walks out again. And it's like, she just straight up killed her parents.
Yeah.
Okay.
Either that or they got like blued or whatever it's called.
Obluded.
Yeah, obluded.
Yeah, maybe. That's such a weird name.
I hate that name, yeah.
It's like, just say you erase their memories.
Yeah.
But whatever. So that's pretty much the end of that episode.
Yeah. Moving along. I love it.
Okay, so, I mean, some of the later episodes get a little crazier, I think. But episode 3, we are introduced to Larry Radikowski and Juniper. They are STF agents, and somehow Juniper's memory gets wiped. Doesn't really go into it.
Yeah, she's on the battlefield, and like she gets kind of overtaken, I think.
Yeah, she sees them attacking the girls, I think, or attacking the two other agents, because we find out that the two guys that took them through time, those are STF agents also.
The underground.
Yep. Standard Time Fighters is what it stands for.
Okay. And Larry sees her.
Yeah, Larry
pretty much get taken out, and he's pretty upset about it.
Well, he hears, I think he's talking to her over the walkie.
Yeah, and she doesn't respond.
So he goes to her house, and she thinks that he's like he's like an Uber Eats driver delivering her food. And he tries to play this tape that she made for herself. Yeah. Just in case her memory was wiped.
To remind her who she is.
But she doesn't listen to the whole thing, and she just slams the door on him.
Like, why didn't he keep playing it?
I don't know.
I understand.
Because he plays it when he gets back out to his car.
Yeah.
And
probably just make her listen.
Maybe you should have like finished that, but whatever. So adult Erin is out in her car trying to find the girls. Yeah. And the device beside her keeps saying like system armed or whatever. Yeah. And
Larry gets a signal
about it, yes. So he's trying to find Erin.
Who the heck armed it?
Yeah, who armed it. She finds the 3 girls walking down the road, or the 3 that are left, because Mac, of course, has gone on to do her own thing. Yeah. And she finds the 3 girls, gets them in the car, and Mac has gone off to find her brother. Right. Because
he's a doctor.
Yes, while they were at Erin's house, adult Erin's house, they were looking online, and she looked up her brother and found that he's a doctor. And also Tiff looked up herself and found out that she has some kind of institute that she's founded.
Pruitt Institute. What was her name?
Quilkin. The Quilkin Institute. So Mac goes off to talk to her brother, of course. And he looks very surprised to see young Mac.
Very shocked.
Very, very shocked. Looks like he's seen a ghost. And he doesn't believe. He thinks that it's somebody who is pretending to be her.
Somebody messing with him.
Because he's like, you can't be Mac. Mac is dead. Yeah. Mac had lymphoma.
Yeah, she had brain cancer.
Died when she was 16, so you can't be Mac. Yeah. And Mac is like, what?
So 4 years is all I have left.
Yeah.
It's pretty sad. Yeah. Even in the comics too. Yeah. The comics is kind of more heartbreaking because it's like, it's something she did and they can't ever reverse it kind of deal. It was because she like touched something that like shot her with something. I think it was when she touched the what are those things are called? The thing they teleported in.
The pod thing?
Pod, yeah. Maybe. Something like that. Yeah. And she got cancer that way.
Okay, I can't remember. But she leaves behind her stuff, and he sees that it's his Walkman that she would always steal, and it has his mixtape in it. Yeah. And she leaves, like, a water glass, and he goes and checks the DNA.
Very spitty water glass. Yeah. Just, like, running down the side.
Gross.
But she's with the social worker of the hospital.
And so he goes and does, like, a DNA test kind of thing, and goes back to the social worker and is like, okay, so she's my daughter. Yeah. She's like a secret daughter.
Yeah, I don't want my family to know.
So just release her to me. I'll take care of it and everything.
Delete the file, please. Yeah. Appreciate you.
Yeah. So he's gonna take her home with him.
Mm-hmm.
The girls, I guess, know that Mac is... I keep saying... I don't know why I said he. That Mac is trying to find her brother.
Yeah, because she was like, I got a brother. He's a doctor.
He's a doctor.
Screw you guys.
Exactly. So,
I'm probably a vet or something. I don't know.
So they're like, okay, well, we'll go to the hospital and find her.
Yeah.
They get there. Adult Aaron is like, okay, stay in the car. I'm going to go check everything out.
Mm-hmm.
She's walking across. Larry has pulled
Just
up also.
Straight up tases her.
Tases her and throws her in the back of his van and drives off. And the girls are like, what just happened?
Why?
So
they chase him down.
And
he goes out to a farm.
Yes.
And he triggers like some tire spikes or something.
Yes.
So they run over him and just destroy her tires.
Yeah. And they're like gonna run away, but he stops them. He like shoots into the air or whatever. And so he takes them and puts them into his basement.
Yeah. Real weird start for Larry.
Yeah, a very weird start for Larry. Yep. So they're all down there waiting for the morning because he's like, I'll talk to you in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
So Dylan, which is Mac's brother, takes her home with him and his wife is there. And he's like, so this is my cousin's kid. Her name is Kimberly.
Mm-hmm.
Her mom is in rehab, so we're gonna keep her for a while until she gets better, you know?
Yeah.
So she's like, okay, that's fine.
And Mac's like, I actually go by Joe.
Yeah, it's my middle name. It's what all my friends call me.
And he's like, okay, Joe.
Yeah, so she's gonna stay there.
Yeah.
So the next morning, Larry lets them out of the basement. He's like, come upstairs for breakfast. But then they go upstairs, and he doesn't have any breakfast made or anything.
Yeah, I didn't... there was like some maybe cereal up there or something.
It's like, bro, I was expecting bacon and eggs. I mean, come on, man. But he basically wants to know...
2019, he's probably just eating avocado toast.
Freaking
millennial.
So he wants to know what they're, who they are.
Mm-hmm.
And keeps asking Aaron, or adult Aaron, who do you work for? And she's like, well, I work for whatever,
yeah,
like legal company she works for.
Yeah, I do freelance, but the last place I was this.
He's like, what are you talking about? No, that's not what I'm asking. Where did you get this device? And so they kind of have to explain to him how they got everything.
Tell him about Heck and... other guy. Mondo.
Naldo. Because I'm like, it's not Nando, because it's not Cheeky Nando's, but it's Naldo.
Have a Cheeky Nando's.
With the lads. So he gets to hear all their story. Then Prioress is trying to find Mac now. I don't remember how she found out that Mac was one of the people anyway. I don't know how she knows all this stuff. Just
where did she go?
Randomly.
She went, I don't know. Yeah, she went to the hospital.
Because she goes to the hospital, yeah.
Like just straight up goes there and finds out about her.
Yeah, but I don't know how she found out about her in the first place. It doesn't make sense. But I wrote down, she's annoying. I'm not a fan of this actress.
Yeah.
Because I've seen her in other stuff and I didn't like her.
Yeah.
But
she's a bad guy.
Yeah.
Duh.
So, back at Larry's, he tells them about the STF and the Old Watch, and there's a time war going on between those two factions.
The STF wants to change time to make a better future where it's not like resource depletion and huge wage gaps and all this stuff. But the Old Watch wants to keep it the same because they make money off of it and keeps them rich.
Yeah. And adult Aaron is like, when he starts talking about like the wage gaps and stuff, she's like it is now? And he's like, yeah, the war's still going on.
Yeah.
It's like, duh. Oh, goodness. So he's like, okay, well, I have something to show you. So he takes him out to one of the silos that he has. And inside of it is this giant robot.
Huge robot, yep.
Like this big mech kind of thing.
He's like, we can use this to time travel.
Yep. So then we move on to episode 4.
Yeah.
Where we find out that Missy, Aaron's little sister, is still around.
Yep.
She's waiting for her at the lawyer's office for something. They're trying to sell the house.
Home,
yeah. But, of course, Aaron doesn't show up because she's got other things she's dealing with right now.
Got a few things happening.
So, Larry explains that the robot is a battleship.
Yeah.
And since Aaron is the one who activated the device, that means that she's the one who's going to have to pilot it.
Right.
And they can use it to go through time. And he wants to go to 1999.
Uh-huh. Because he thinks there's like connections there, I think.
I guess so.
That's an important point in time.
Yeah, but the girls, of course, are like, why don't we just go to 1988? You can drop us off there, and then you can do whatever you need to do. And then we can warn the two other people. We can warn Heck and Naldo.
Right.
And then maybe they won't die.
Yeah.
And all this stuff.
And he's like, okay.
Okay, sounds good.
He's also keeping like a journal of all the folds.
The foldings.
The time foldings where you can make like backdoor jumps without using a time machine. But he's got it coded in there.
Yeah, he has like, it's like a, I was gonna say it's cryptic kind of, but, you know, what, I can't remember what it's called. Encrypted. That's the word I was trying to think of. It's encrypted. There we go. And he's the only one who knows how to figure it out.
Right.
So Mac and Dylan, of course, are still hanging out.
Yep.
And they're like shooting off fireworks at each other.
Yeah.
Why not?
They're having a good time.
Yep. And
he tells her pretty much, during this time, he tells her a lot of stuff. But he's also like, you inspired me to be a doctor.
Yeah.
You were so brave when you had cancer and you told me I needed to get my life together and all this stuff. Made your promise, basically.
Yeah.
So that's why he became a doctor.
Yep.
And he's like, you can just stay with me, bro.
Yeah, he tells her that, you know, we'll pretend that you'll stay with me, and after a little while we'll pretend that something happened to your mom, and I'll adopt you.
Right.
And then you can just be a part of the family, and I'll be your dad instead of your brother. And she's like, that's weird, but okay.
Yeah.
Missy calls Aaron.
Yeah.
And is like, where were you? We were supposed to meet about this house thing, and you weren't there. And she's like, trying to explain, but not really. Yeah. And she just goes ahead and invites her out to Larry's farm. Yep. So, but she tells the girls, you know, she's like, okay, while she's here, you can't be seen. But especially young Aaron. Yeah. Because that would freak her out.
Yeah, I would imagine.
So she's like, you can't be seen. So they have to hide. Well, KJ does not want to hide. She's like, I'm taking this motorcycle and I'm going to go find Mac because we need to find Mac. Yep. And when Missy gets there, Larry and Aaron are pretending to be dating, and it's the most awkward thing. They look like they're about to kiss, and then they think better about it, and they're like, I'll just kiss
kind of a weird
the top of your head and hug you a little instead. And
it's real awkward.
Like, oh, jeez. Yeah. So he has to go out because, of course, that's when KJ takes off on the motorcycle, and he runs out, and he's like, come back here, kid.
You motorcycle thief, I know you were terrible. You darn kid.
Yep. So Missy and Aaron have a little fight, and
because Aaron kind of like blocked her out of her mom's when she was sick. Aaron took care of her so that Missy wouldn't have to worry about it. Yeah. She's like, I didn't ask you to be a martyr for me.
Yeah, because Aaron was like, well, you had your family, you had your husband and your kids, and I thought it would be easier for me to do everything so that you didn't have to deal with it. And she's like, yeah, but that took away my time to be with her before she died. Yeah. So, yeah, that's what they've been fighting about.
It's a sad relationship.
Yeah. So, Larry goes and talks to Tiff, and that's when he shows her the journal. And tells her that there's going to be a folding. It's going to open later that day. It's only going to be open for 10 minutes, and that's how they're going to get out of there. Yep. So, KJ, on her motorcycle, goes to Dylan's house. Yep. And she's looking around, and Dylan's wife lets her in. She's like, oh, you must be Joe's friend. Yeah. And she's like, Joe? Who's Joe? Yeah, sure. You know, because she realizes that it was Mac. Yeah. And so she lets her in and gives her a glass of water and is going to give her some snacks and stuff. And then the prioress shows up.
Of course.
And so KJ sees her and she's like, oh, this is a bad guy. I got to get out of here. Yeah. So she gets out.
And she goes to the Chili's.
She goes to the Chili's where Dylan is.
It's Dylan, Mac, and Dylan's kids. Yes. Which his oldest kid is a jerk. Youngest kid is adorable.
Yes. The oldest kid is named...
Alice? Or Miss...
Alice is the younger kid.
Okay.
The older kid is like... Oh, God, what was her name? It was something really weird. It's like, why would you name your kid this?
I don't remember.
It was Wilder.
Wilder? Okay.
Yeah, I think that was her name.
It's that is weird.
It's a weird name. But Wilder
sorry to all the Wilders out there.
Sorry. Wilder is kind of a jerk.
Yeah, she sucks.
Mac immediately hates her.
Yeah.
But Alice is like real sweet, and she's like, I like Alice. Yeah. She likes everybody except for the older daughter. Yeah. So they're sitting there having their dinner, and she gets mad at Dylan and calls him names at one point, and he kind of takes her over, and he's like, you can't talk to me like that in front of my kids. But they kind of make up, and then KJ shows up.
Yeah.
It was like, we got to get out of here.
Yeah.
And they get out of there.
Kill everybody. You're with.
Yeah, so they get out of there just in time. Because, of course, Prioress shows up. She walks up. She sees the family there, but Mac's not there. And then she starts walking out, and she just slams this, this waiter.
Yeah, this guy, like, the busboy.
Busboy, yeah.
He's got his, like, thing for dishes, and she just reaches out of her way and just pushes him. Like, oh my gosh, dude, why?
It then runs over a couple of other people. I'm like, who are you, Harry Potter?
Yeah,
Come on.
pretty much. Pretty much.
Like, there was no call for that.
So ridiculous. It was great.
So she chases after him. She jumps into a car and goes after him. Meanwhile, on the farm, the folding has opened.
Yeah.
And they're like, okay, we've got to go.
Yeah.
And the other two aren't there, so they're like, we're going to have to leave without them. But here they come. They drive up just in time.
Yeah, and they missed the tire spikes, I guess.
I guess so.
Which it didn't look like they did, but apparently they did.
But anyway, they get up there, and they all get inside of the robot, and here comes Prioress. She shows up, but...
she runs over the tire spikes.
Yeah, she does. She does. And before she can get to him, that robot just breaks out of the silo and takes a run and runs through the folding into another time.
She's just watching it like, oh, come on.
Come on, I was so close. So yeah, they get through it, and she's just kind of standing there, and it gets dark and everything. She's still just standing there. I'm like, girl, is there nothing else you can do?
She is upset.
Yep. So then we have a new character who shows up.
Jason Mantzoukas.
Yes.
Playing Jason Mantzoukas.
He's playing grandfather.
Yes. I love Jason Mantzoukas.
So he shows up. He's like the leader of the, what are they called? The Old Watch.
Right.
And he's like, I'm very disappointed right now.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm not mad, I'm just disappointed.
Basically.
And that's how it ends with him just being disappointed. So, oh well. So yeah, his character is also in the books. And I'm wondering if they get a season 2, if we'll go more into his backstory.
I hope so.
Because it was a big deal in the comics.
There's a lot, yeah.
So if we don't, that's going to be weird.
Yeah.
But maybe that'll be like if they do a season 2, maybe that'll be there.
They better.
I swear.
Which we just found out right before we started.
Yeah, we have not talked about this, but we watched the first episode.
Yeah. And
then the second episode was starting, and I was like, I feel like one of these people looks very familiar to me, so I'm gonna look this person up.
Yeah.
And as I typed in Paper Girls, and one of the first things that popped up was a news story, and it's like Amazon Prime cancels Paper Girls after one season. I'm like, are you kidding me?
Yeah, it was ridiculous.
We are finally getting to watch this, and they had just canceled it because it was like one day ago.
Yeah.
Like,
it just happened.
What?
Stupid Amazon Prime. But they're shopping it around. Hopefully they can find something.
Yeah, Legendary.
I don't see why they wouldn't be able to.
Legendary Television, or whoever it is that does it, they're shopping it around. So hopefully somebody will pick it up. It'd be nice if it was like Netflix or something.
Yeah.
Picked it up. Because, HBO Max ain't doing it.
Yeah.
So.
Like, we can't do anything.
So here's hoping that Netflix or Hulu picks it up, because that would be great.
Yeah.
Because I would like to have a second season.
For sure.
I mean, even if it's just one season.
Yeah. Just to wrap it up.
Yeah.
Because, there's not a lot to the comics left, really. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway.
Because I was wondering if it was going to be just a one season kind of thing.
Yeah, me too.
But it's not. But it needs a second season.
It does.
Especially once we get to the last episode when we start talking about that.
Yeah.
Okay, but that was the 4th episode.
Yep.
So we're up to episode 5.
So they're supposed to have jumped to 1988.
Yes, so that they can drop off the girls and save Heck and Naldo. So they come out of the folding. They crash because there's like this big heap of like stone or something in front of them.
Yeah, or maybe seed.
Or something. But Erin is still like running as piloting the robot, and she can't slow down, so she just trips on it, basically. So they go down. They all get out. Larry is freaking out.
Yeah, he is upset.
Yeah, and they're like, what is wrong? Did we go to the wrong time? What is happening?
He wouldn't tell him. I don't know why he wouldn't tell him.
I don't know either. He could have just explained it, but he didn't. So another folding opens up in front of them, but it looks different because it's like the pink purple one. And another robot comes out of this.
Yep. Huge robot.
So he's like, you've got to go, you've got to run. So they all run off, except for Larry. He sits there. He's got his gun. He goes up, starts shooting the robot. I'm like, that's not going to do anything.
He gets vaporized immediately.
Oh, immediately. They just like laser beam him, and he is just an ash pile.
Dead. Yep.
He's gone. So they're like, oh crap, they just killed Larry. So adult Aaron is like, all right, it's up to me. I'm going to have to do something.
Yep.
Because the robot is like scanning all the surrounding areas.
Yeah, and the girl's hidden a trailer. He's scanning all the trailers.
And it can tell if there are life forms in there.
Yeah.
But it sees, like, it scans, it hears something, and it looks over, and there's, like, a rat, and it goes after the rat instead.
Blast of a rat for no reason.
So adult Aaron's like, okay, I'm gonna figure out a way to get you guys safe. So she runs back out there and gets back in the robot and starts fighting. Mm-hmm. Fighting that other robot. She's doing a really good job.
Yeah, she does a good job.
Until she's no longer doing a good job.
Yeah, pretty much.
And, it's
like, she stabs it with a big pipe or something that she tore off of the factory. And so she's right up in it.
Yeah.
And it's losing power, but then it suddenly starts gaining power again.
Yeah.
Then clasps her hands and starts overloading her robot.
Yeah, so the only thing that she has left, there's this red button inside that Larry was like, do not push that button.
Yeah.
And she's like, well,
here we go.
Guess I'm pushing the button. So she pushes the red button, and it blows up her robot and the other robot.
Yeah. So she did.
So there goes adult Aaron. She's gone.
Yep. Pretty traumatic for young Aaron.
Yeah.
See her just
young
die.
Aaron just saw her older self die and just goes crazy. She's just like crying, like sobbing, like, oh my God, I just watched my older self die.
Just fair.
Yeah, understandable. So Tiff notices they're just like sitting in the trailer. I don't know why they didn't go anywhere immediately.
I mean, I guess maybe, I don't know.
Because nothing else was around at that point.
Right.
They wait until all these people with the white armor show up. All the old watch people show up. And they're like, still in the trailer. I'm like, why are you still in that trailer?
Don't know.
But Tiff looks out and notices that the backpack that Larry brought with him is still out there. And it has his little journal in it.
And I can't believe the old watch didn't see the bag. Like, why would they not have seen it?
Yeah. But she's like, I'm going to get out there and I'm going to go get it. So she heads out there. And while she's out there, Prioress and grandfather show up and they're talking to each other and she overhears what they're saying. So they're talking about like...
They have a past, like, he used to be a pilot.
Yeah.
Her, like, backup pilot. Then he got an office job and rose up the ranks and now he's the grandfather or whatever.
Yeah.
And they just needed to clean it all up, I guess.
And you find out that she's lost somebody.
Oh, yeah. He's like, we all lost somebody.
We've all lost somebody, you know, so you're just going to have to get over it.
Yeah.
Basically.
Mm-hmm.
So Tiff overhears all this stuff, and I don't think it ever comes back into play. Because I was like, something that they say has to, like, come back, right?
Yeah.
But I don't know if it does.
Not in this season, at least, I don't think.
Yeah. So anyway... They walk off and she runs and gets the backpack and gets back in time before she's seen. So they notice that ablution is happening. They're starting to wipe the memories of everybody who saw anything.
Yeah.
So they're like, oh, well, it was nice knowing you. You know, we're going to forget everything after this, but oh well. And then, like, nothing happens. They still remember everything.
Yeah, they're fine.
It doesn't explain. Weird. Maybe it's because I was trying to think of when the first time that ablution happened, but it was... before they had gotten into the pod.
Uh-huh.
So what is keeping them from...
Yeah, I don't know.
Losing their memories?
I don't know. Maybe that's something we'll learn later.
Yeah.
If it gets another season.
Yeah, because it doesn't explain it. But there's got to be some kind of reason.
Probably.
But I don't know. So yeah, they still remember everything. They start walking off.
Do they go to KJ's house first?
Well, they're walking around and they notice that there are 4th of July things all around. And they're like, wait a minute.
Oh.
When we left, it was Halloween.
Yeah.
What has happened? And they grab a newspaper and see that it is July 3rd, 1999.
Yeah.
And they're like, Larry lied to us.
That liar.
We came to 1999 instead of 1988.
Yep.
Like he said.
Can't warn anybody.
Yeah, so great. And now we're stuck in 1999.
Mm-hmm.
So they're like, what are we going to do? We've got to find a place to go because they're all like starving and everything.
Erin has started
her very first period also in the last episode.
They have nothing.
Yeah.
So they got to go steal some tampons and pads.
Yeah. So they go to like this convenience store. They steal some tampons. They have this whole long thing about how do tampons work because they've never done it before. And I'm like, girl, there are some instructions in that box. I can tell you right now. But they do find it, and then they're like, "This is too complicated."
A little bit. They're like toxic shock.
Yeah, and of course they're like, "What is it? Super? What's super and what's regular?"
Regular, yeah.
There's like maybe if you have a super sized vagina.
Meg's like, I have a super vagina.
and Erin's like, I guess I'm regular. I don't know. But they can't. They're like, this is too much. This is too hard to figure out. So they're like, just go get me the diapers, basically. Because Mac didn't get the pads because she was like, it was just like diapers. Yeah. But she goes back and she steals some pads instead. Yeah. So they're like, okay, well, while they're waiting for Erin to get out of the bathroom, they're like, well, we've got to figure out a place to go because, we need food, we need supplies, all that stuff. Mm-hmm. But I don't know where we can go. And KJ's like, well, it's the 4th of July. Every year for 4th of July, my parents and I we go on our boat or whatever to the lake. Just spend the holiday on our boat. So the house should be empty. We can just go there. So as soon as Erin gets done, that's where they go. Mm-hmm. They get there, and of course there's a party going on. Yep. It's like, oh no.
The 1 year.
Yeah, exactly. So they're like, well, nobody knows us. Yeah. So KJ, you stay out here. We're going to go inside. Yeah. So they just leave her behind. Mm-hmm. They go in, and then KJ does decide to just go in after them.
Yeah, she's curious. She sees her parents and stuff, and she just wants to look around, I guess.
Yeah. So they all go in, they grab some food, look around. They see older KJ, who they find out she lives in New York now. Yep. There's some guy who's like flirting with her, and she's like, ew.
Her mom's trying to set her up with him. Yeah. Basically. She brought a friend back. Her friend's up in her room.
Yeah. And also, KJ's dog is there and comes up to young KJ.
Oh, it's so sweet.
I know. I was like, oh my gosh, because when she left, it was just a puppy. Yeah. And now it's an older dog. Yeah. And comes up, recognizes her and comes up to her. Yeah. And she's like, oh my gosh. It's so cute. She's like, I'm going to take the dog for a walk real quick. I'm going to take her outside. Yeah. So then Erin and Mac go off to like where all the coats and purses are and just start stealing money.
Yeah. Start grabbing some money.
Mm-hmm. Tiff is trying to decipher Larry's notebook. Yep. And KJ goes upstairs and she meets Lauren, the friend from NYU. Yep. Because KJ, older KJ, is in film school. Uh-huh. She's like, I thought KJ would go to business school. Yeah. That's what her mom wanted her to do, but she went to film school instead. Yeah. And she's like, I don't even really watch movies. That's weird.
Like, well, you're going to like her.
Yeah. So she's pretending to be her cousin, of course. Right. Anyway, so she's like, well, it was nice to meet you and everything. She starts walking off and
tells her about Kubrick. Yeah. Which, man, if you're starting off with Kubrick.
Oh, no.
Yikes.
No. Start off with like Spielberg or something.
Yeah. Kubrick is...
Yeah, because there's going to be, like, the next day, there's supposed to be a Kubrick film festival kind of thing where they're just doing like a marathon of his movies. Yeah. And she's like, but we're going to go see... We're not going to go real early, but we're going to go at least see 2001. Mm-hmm. And she's like, oh, that's cool, And she's like, well, it was nice meeting you. And she walks off, and then she sees that older KJ is walking up the stairs. Yeah. So she has to hide. Yeah. And she oversees... KJ and Lauren are kissing. Because they're more than friends. Yeah. And she closes the door, and she has like a full-on gay crisis. Yeah. She's like, gay panic. Oh my God.
She's like, oh, apparently I'm gay.
I guess so.
Which she's kind of been looking that way anyway.
She's been staring at Mac signs, a lot. Yeah. Because, yeah.
You can tell she's a little conflicted.
Yeah. So, anyway, they all leave because KJ's like, I gotta get out of here. Mm-hmm. So they head out. And
she's mad.
Yeah, she's upset. She's upset. And they start saying something to her. I can't remember exactly why, but
punches Mac in the face
and makes her nose bleed. And everything. And she's like, what in the world, you psycho? What is wrong with you? Yeah. And so they're like, all right, Tiff is going to call her older self now.
Yeah.
She's like, we've got to have some kind of help because this is not working.
Yep.
So that's where it stops. She calls her older self.
Yep.
Then we have episode 6.
Mm-hmm.
It starts off, it starts off with Ronald Reagan.
Yeah. Having a debate with Aaron.
And Aaron are debating each other in her dream.
Yep.
And she wakes up and they're at this club where...
It's like a rave club.
Yeah, it's like a rave club. They go in and Tiff works there because she's like a DJ or something.
Yeah, well, she does lights.
She does lights, yeah. That's
Yeah.
what it is. Anyway, so Tiff meets her older self, and her older self takes it really well.
Yeah.
She's like, oh, okay, you know.
Yeah.
She's like, well, you can stay with me.
She's very different than what Tiff expected. She's got blue hair.
Yeah.
She's in the rave scene, I guess.
Yeah.
Mesh top and all this. She's like, we were supposed to go to MIT. I don't understand what's going on here.
But yeah, she's very different. And then she goes out and meets the others, and they're like, wow, your older self is really cool.
Yeah.
And Aaron's just sitting there like, okay, guess my older self wasn't cool enough for you guys, but whatever.
And she's dead, I guess. That's fine.
Yeah. So they go stay with her in her apartment.
Mm-hmm.
The next morning, KJ goes out for a walk.
Yeah.
But she's really going to the Kubrick marathon.
Yep.
Where she sees her future self and
her girlfriend.
And the girlfriend. And she's kind of watching them for a minute, and then she starts watching the movie and she gets really into it.
Yeah.
Tiff says that they should go find past Larry because he should still be alive in 1999.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe he can help them decipher the notebook.
And Aaron's like, I do not want to see Larry.
At all.
I will murder that man.
Exactly. She's like, no, I'm not interested. So she's like, okay, well, you can stay here. Tiff's boyfriend shows up.
He's lame.
Yeah. His name is Russ.
Yeah.
And he's like, I thought you were supposed to take me to work today. I need a ride. And she's like, fine, where's this farm?
Yeah.
It's on the way. We'll drop you off. So it's just... So, like, Mac and Aaron stay behind.
Mm-hmm.
And
place him in 64.
Yeah, exactly. And then the two Tiffs head off with Russ. Mm-hmm. Drop him off. And then go to the farm.
Yep. Confront Larry.
Yeah.
And Mimo.
Yeah. Also, Erin calls her mom.
Yeah.
Just so she can hear her voice. And Mac lies to her because they're like, well, we should go. They decide to go to Erin's house. And they see her mom and they see her sister and everything. And everything looks really sweet.
Mm-hmm.
And they're talking about Mac's future. And Mac lies and says that she's right now they can't get in touch with her right now because she's in vet school.
Yeah.
In 1999, and she's going to be specializing in horses and all this stuff. So she's got this whole story made up. Then, at the farm they meet Larry, who is a new recruit for STF.
He doesn't know what's going on.
Yeah. He's like, wow, I just met like Heck and Naldo like a month or two ago or whatever. He's also 20 years younger, but he looks exactly the same.
He has shorter hair. Very different.
Because I was like...
He has a meemaw.
Okay. Yeah, his meemaw's there. Larry! Larry! I need your help with something. So...
Show him the journal.
Yes.
Tell him. Get him to write the code down. How to decipher it. So that's good.
And he's like, how can I get in touch with you? And so she's like... Older Tiff is like, my name is Tiff... Oh, I forgot what her name was again.
Yeah, Tiffany.
Tiff Quilkin. You can find me in the phone book or whatever.
Yep.
So he's like, all right. So they head back out. KJ is still at the movies and sees older version of herself go to the bathroom or whatever. So she goes up to talk to Lauren. And what? I didn't mean it. I mean, she walks off
the bathroom.
I didn't mean it like that.
I'm just so curious.
I just want to see myself peeing. I'm sorry. So she sees her heading off to the bathroom. How about that?
That's good.
And she goes to talk to Lauren, and she's like, so she's asking her, she's talking about Kubrick at first, and then she's like, so when did you know you like movies?
Yeah.
And so Lauren can kind of tell that she means girls.
Yeah.
And kind of talks to her about it.
Find one you really like. It's great.
Exactly. But she's still trying to make it sound like she's talking about movies, which is funny. It's like, yeah, that's definitely not what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Young Tiff finds out that older Tiff quit MIT.
Yeah.
Whoops.
Or actually, she got expelled.
Well, she tells her
Yeah.
that she quit. She's like, I quit MIT. It
Yeah,
wasn't what
it's
I
not
wanted.
what you thought it was going to be.
Exactly. Everybody comes back. They're all kind of pissed off about everything.
Yeah,
about different
everybody's
things.
mad.
Matt goes upstairs to the roof and
Smoke
to
some
smoke.
cloves.
Yeah, even though she hates clove cigarettes.
Yeah. I don't know who likes clove cigarettes.
And KJ goes up there and apologizes to her for hitting her.
Yeah.
And while they're up there, Mac actually tells her the truth that she's going to die when she's 16.
Yeah, because KJ was going to tell her about being gay.
Yeah.
But
and
Matt
she
cut her
doesn't.
off.
Yeah, and so Mac's like, but you can't tell the others.
Yeah.
So they finally have cracked the code of the notebook, and they find out that the next folding is in 7 years.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh my
You're
God, we're going to have to wait.
Are you kidding me?
7 years. Aaron's like, do the math again. And she's
Yeah.
like, no, it's still the same.
Yeah.
So, not good.
Nope.
And then, back on the farm, Larry notices that there is a rift that has opened, and pieces of 1988 are coming out of the folding. So
There
there's
are
like newspapers, Aaron's bike,
Yep.
a bunch of stuff. So it's like...
Dukakis poster.
Yeah. So it's like, okay, well, something weird's going on. And then we go to episode 7.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Force Awaken.
okay. KJ and Mac are talking. They're walking around. She's like, maybe we can catch your cancer early. Maybe we can go to a doctor and save you.
Yeah,
But-
Mac just doesn't. She's kind of given up.
Yeah. Tiff and older Tiff are talking, and they go to like a coffee shop or whatever, and they're talking there. And older Tiff straight up tells her, well, you know what? You're adopted.
By the way, you're adopted. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, okay. And your mother doesn't tell you until your sophomore year. And so, your mom's been lying to you your whole time, your
Yeah.
whole life. So why do what she wants you to do kind of thing?
Yep. I still don't understand that whole not telling your adopted stuff. It's weird.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
So you're adopted.
What?
How dare you tell me now?
Mom! Yes, I am. And I've known for as long as I can remember.
Okay. That's what I was going to ask. I was going to say, have you known basically your whole life?
Yeah. And
Okay.
my parents are my parents. Like,
Yeah, exactly. It
no
doesn't matter.
doubt. Yeah. Like, yeah. So she's like calling her by her, like, Carols. It's like,
Yeah.
you mean mom.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
Geez, you're taking it a little farther, bro.
Yeah. So anyway,
It's not a curse to be adopted.
no, it's not.
It's always like something horrible and all these.
Yeah,
It's like, you're adopted.
It's so weird too, because it's like
Yeah.
people are like, "Oh my God, you're adopted," and it's
Yeah.
like, yeah, that just means that somebody wanted me.
Yeah. It's weird.
Somebody wanted me enough to adopt me. Why is that a bad thing? I don't know. It's weird, but anyway, it's not like a terrible thing. I don't get it.
No, it's not.
So Mac and KJ go to the cemetery to find Mac's grave.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't even have her birth date or her death date on there. It's
No.
just the years, which is
Yeah.
weird. But while they're there, they hear somebody coming, so they hide. And it's her stepmom, Alice.
Mm-hmm.
She's brought flowers to put on her grave because it's Mac's birthday.
Yeah.
Because Mac was born July 5th.
And her brother told her that her stepmom was there the whole time she was, had
Going through
cancer and
Mm-hmm.
really stepped up and
Yeah.
was a good person, very supportive.
Yeah, that's why he ended up naming his youngest daughter Alice.
Mm-hmm.
So she's like, it's just weird because that's not how she was when I was, back in 1988.
Yeah.
So Erin has been left by herself in the apartment.
Yeah.
She's just hanging out with
the
Tip's
boyfriend's
boyfriend.
there, yeah.
Yeah. Russ is there. And Larry shows up.
Yeah. And she is not happy to see
No,
him.
she is not. So
She breaks it to him that
He's like-
he was killed.
well, he's like, I have something to show you. And she's like walking off. And he's like, he's being nice because he doesn't know all this terrible stuff that's happened. And she's like, well, you know what? You get vaporized. And he's like, what?
Why?
So yeah, he's not taking that well.
Yeah. He's pretty upset.
But he doesn't run off or anything. He's still like, he takes her to the farm because he shows her her bike.
Yeah.
Because she's like, is that my bike? He's like, I came through a rift. There's a bunch of other stuff too. You should come to the farm to see. So she goes with him, and he calls Juniper, who in 1999, of course,
Still remembers
everything. She's like a level 8 agent or whatever.
Yeah.
And he's like, you should probably come see this too. And there are travelers from the future that are here. And she's like, what? Okay, I'll be there in just a minute.
Yep. She's
So-
apparently getting married.
Yes.
She's picking out dresses.
Yep. So back at the cemetery, they're getting ready to leave, and Alice sees them because she almost runs over them.
Yeah.
And tries to catch them, but they run off, and she can't. They get away.
Yep. She's real upset.
Yeah. The two Tiffs are talking again, and that's when we find out that she didn't quit MIT.
Yeah.
She was expelled.
Yeah.
And
I wonder why.
I don't know, because it doesn't really go into it. She's kind of like, I found out I was adopted and then I was expelled. And it's like, well, you don't get expelled from college just because you're adopted. That's not how things work.
Yeah, I hope not.
So, yeah, they're kind of mad at each other. On the farm, Larry and Aaron show up, and also Juniper gets there and go look at the folding, which is not a folding, it's a time rip, and you can't actually travel through it. Mm-hmm. Then Russ comes out and is like, they're like, where's Aaron? And he's like,
the Tiffs ask him,
Yeah, he's like, oh, she went off with some guy, Larry. And they're like, what?
Why didn't you say anything, Russ? God. You're so worthless.
Yep. So they head off and pick up KJ and Mac, who are just kind of sitting down at the bottom of the steps.
Yeah.
And they all go to the farm together.
Yep.
They find this probe there.
Yeah, it looks like a big old bug.
Yeah, the grandmother that Meemaw has captured.
Like the cat. There's a cat in the house.
Cat. It's like, that's not a cat, it's a probe.
It doesn't even look anything like a cat.
It looks like a spider or something.
Meemaw is weird.
Yeah, so the probe is there, and now that they've been seen by it, that means that the old watch are coming, and they'll be there within the hour probably.
And to be fair, it's kind of on Juniper for just holding it open for so long and just
staring
letting
at it.
Yeah, she knows what it is.
Exactly. It's
close the thing, please.
Just take a quick little peek and close it, put it right back. You know? So they're going to be coming in the cathedral, which is like this command headquarters that they can go through time in or whatever. And that's that one. I think the last thing that happens basically is that Juniper shoots the probe.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, it doesn't.
Gotta run.
Exactly. It's like, it doesn't really matter though.
Yeah.
It's already seen you. Mm-hmm. So that's that one. Uh-oh. What's gonna happen? Oh. So then here we are. The last episode. Hopefully not the last episode forever.
Hopefully not. Yeah.
So, they find out that the STF communicate through walkie-talkies.
Yep.
And it's the same walkie-talkies that Tiff had, of course.
Because they stole it from her.
That's why they stole it, because they needed a way to communicate. So Juniper tries to contact Heck and Naldo back in 1988 with the walkie that they have. But who do they hear?
Yeah.
They hear Mac from the first episode.
It's from whenever they just got stolen.
Yeah, so
she yelled at them.
So they're basically kind of like in a time loop.
Yeah, they're like, oh man.
So we're not going to be able to get home. Yep.
Yeah.
Matt gets really upset because I think they say something about, well, we're all dead or whatever. And then it's like, okay, actually, I'm the only one who's dead, but whatever.
Yeah.
So she runs off inside, and Meemaw's in there, and she's laughing. Yeah. And it's like, what are you laughing at? Oh, your friend there. And it's Prioress, of course.
Yeah.
She's
I don't know what Prioress was doing that was so funny.
I don't either. Maybe she was just standing there.
She had like cookies or something.
Yeah, she brought cookies. I don't know. So she's there. Uh-oh. Not
good.
Nope. So KJ comes to check on her, and Prioress has already been talking to Mac and has basically already said, we'll send you back to your original timeline. We'll erase your memories. Everything will go back to the way it was. And Mac's like, yeah, that sounds good. And she's like, we just need to know when to send you back, what date. And KJ's like, we're not telling you that. And Mac just immediately tells them.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, so you probably just told them the date, which means they're going back right now. And that's when when everything is going to start.
Yeah. Because she just wants to forget everything.
Yeah. Yep. So, not good.
Nope.
Grandfather shows up. He's there because he wrecks the mixtape.
Yeah. He's demonstrating.
Yeah, explaining.
Rewriting time just corrodes it. Yeah.
And then also, there's a dinosaur.
Yeah.
There's like a pterodactyl.
Yeah.
Named Tessa.
Because apparently they've killed the STF people by feeding them to dinosaurs. Basically. Yeah.
So, older Tiff is like, okay, we've got to get out of here. We've got to run away. So she's in the car. What's her name? Juniper has been abluted. So, whoops. And Tiff older Tiff is trying to get them out, but younger Tiff is like, no, you've got to, we have to stay here or whatever. And she writes a little note on the notebook so that she will know kind of what it's about, I guess. Which basically it says, you invent time travel. Because we were like, what? No, she doesn't.
Yeah.
That doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
But that's what she writes on it. And then older Tiff gets obluded.
Yep.
So all she'll have is that notebook, and she'll have to figure it all out again, I guess. Mm-hmm. But at least she has that. Then gosh, I forget. All this part is like a blur.
Pyrus takes them outside, and then they're with grandfather, and Larry comes up. He's got a gun. Shotgun. He's threatening to kill him. And
yes.
Grandfather's talking to him and all this stuff, and then pretty much has the dinosaur eat him.
Yeah, the girls run off.
Yeah.
And the dinosaur eats Larry.
Yeah, which that has to mess up the time stream because they can't meet
now they don't have
Larry in the future now.
Which means older Aaron is okay.
Yeah.
But also they wouldn't be able to go back to 99.
Have the journals. They wouldn't know anything. Yeah. So it's messed up now.
Yeah, I don't know. That's weird.
So I don't know what's going to go on.
But, he was eaten by a dinosaur. The girls run inside, back into the basement.
Yeah.
And they're hiding out there. And they're like, they only know about 2 of us. Mm-hmm. So the other 2 can get away, maybe. Yeah. But they're like, no, we're paper girls. We stay together.
That's right.
And Mac tells the other ones about the cancer. Yeah. So they go out and they basically give themselves up, I guess.
Yeah. And Pyrus asks them for their names.
Mm-hmm. And so Erin says her name, and then Tiff says her name. Mm-hmm. And she's like,
Interesting. And then and then Mac does Mac stuff.
Yeah. Mac's
I'm bend over.
Yeah, exactly. And this is some other thing. What it was. So, it does not give her or KJ's actual names. Although she knows KJ's name anyway. Yeah. So they get taken up to the cathedral, and Pyrus shows up to take Tiff. Yeah. And they're like, no, you can't take her.
We all go.
We'll all go. And so she's like, okay, fine, whatever. You'll all go. So she's walking around, taking them somewhere, and tells them that time travel was created by the Quilkin Institute. Right. So somebody who worked there was the first time traveler. Mm-hmm. And the Quilkin Institute, of course, was created by Tiff, because that's Tiff Quilkin. And
she's pretty much going to send them to where they need to go.
She's going to send them to talk to old Dr.
Quilkin. Tell her what
they've
been through.
Yeah, so that maybe she will not invent time travel. Yeah. And then they won't have to have the Time Wars in the first place. That will just change everything. Yeah. And then she's like, this is gonna change the whole thing. It's gonna stop the Time War. This is perfect. Yep. So that's what she's getting ready to do.
Summons a pod. Mm-hmm. They start to get in it.
Yeah. All of them are in it except for KJ.
Yeah.
And it's like, KJ, get in there.
KJ's like apologizing to Pyrus and stuff.
Yes, because Pyrus killed Pyrus's brother. That's the guy that she hit with the hockey stick. Right. And that's why Pyrus has really been gunning for him. Yeah. Because she kind of wants revenge. Mm-hmm. But I guess she just kind of she's like, okay, apology accepted, whatever, get in there. But then these other people arrive, and one of them shoots Pyrus. Mm-hmm. So they're like, okay, we gotta go.
Aaron and KJ run to her, of course.
Well, KJ's already there. Yeah. But Aaron runs to her because she's like, oh, well, I've got this little canister of the bugs that helped me.
Healing bugs.
So she opens it, and we're both sitting there like, get in the pot!
Seriously. She's going to die for nothing because of you people.
So KJ goes ahead and runs in there with Mac, and Tiff and Aaron are finally running over there too. Yeah. But the door is closed before they can get into the pod. Mm-hmm. So they're separated. Yep. And then that pod gets sent through time.
Yep. To wherever it's going.
Yep. And so they're like, well, crap. Yep. So they're gone. And then Pyrus is able to, now that the bugs are kind of working their magic, she's able to go over and call another pod and puts them in that one. And it closes. And of course, grandfather shows up. Yeah. And all these other people show up, and they're messing with the little trying to figure out where everything's going. And they get sent off into space, their little pod. Mm-hmm. And grandfather's just like, well, crap.
Yeah, he lets Pyrus die, takes the bugs back. Yep. So she's dead. Then we have Aaron and Tiff. Their pod lands in this cornfield. Mm-hmm. And they're like, well, it's always corn. So much corn.
They're like, it looks the same, basically. They're like, Aaron's like, what were you expecting, flying cars?
Yeah.
Because they're expecting to be in the future. So they go through the cornfield, and because they hear this sound, they walk up. They're at a drive-in theater.
Yeah.
And it's some movie from the 1970s.
Yeah, I thought it was just, it looked pretty 70s, the whole situation.
I think it's like The Longest Yard or something like that.
Yeah, I think so too.
And so it's like from late 70s, like 76, 77, something like that.
Yeah.
So,
They're in the past.
Apparently they've gone back in time, and and the other pod is not there. So where are KJ and Mac?
Where are they? So that's how it ends. So we don't know.
And we don't know if there's going to be another
canceled
season. What the heck? You're just gonna
as if Amazon itself isn't evil enough. They had to cancel Paper Girls.
Like, what? Come on.
Yeah. So, jerk move.
Yeah.
Apparently, like, somebody at Amazon Prime that was in charge of, like, programming and stuff died. That was dedicated to whatever. I can't remember her name, but yeah. So maybe that had something to do with it. I don't know. But it's a shame. I hope they get a second season because it was a good show.
Yeah, it probably had something to do with the fact that they didn't really advertise it.
Yeah.
It's like because they've been spending all their money on advertising Rings of Power.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, but there are other things. And The Boys. I see advertisements for The Boys all the time. It's like, there are other shows that you could be advertising.
Yeah. It got great ratings. I mean, great, like, critical ratings. But
I think it was like 90% on Rotten Tomatoes or something like that, which is pretty good.
Apparently the viewership wasn't high enough, though, so that's why they canceled it, but whatever. Jerks. Bring it back.
Yeah, bring it back. I hope that somebody picks it up.
I swear, if it's like Peacock, I'm gonna be like, come on.
If it's Peacock, I guess I'll get Peacock for...
And we can watch The Office.
I guess I'll get Peacock for like a month and then...
get that free month of Peacock.
And then delete it.
Yeah.
Even if it's just 1 month and I have to pay for that 1 month, I'd still probably pay for 1 month just to watch the second season.
Yeah. Yeah. I want to see how it wraps up.
Yeah.
Or it keeps going.
So, spoilers for the comic books.
Yeah.
And maybe for this, I don't know if they ever do a second season. They do go back, like, way back in time.
Yeah. Like, really far back.
Really far back in time. And they meet this woman and her baby. Mm-hmm. And then they also meet the very first time traveler who has also gone back in time to that point. Mm-hmm. And so I'm wondering if that's where KJ and Mac are. If they...
Maybe. But weren't they supposed to go talk to older Tiff?
They were, but maybe something went wrong.
Maybe. Or maybe Tiff is going to be the one that transports back. But I thought they mentioned the lady from the comics.
They did. They said her name because they were like the first time traveler. Yeah. And it said the name, but she worked for the Quilkin Institute.
Right.
But, because she goes back in time and meets this other woman who's had a kid and...
Yeah.
Spoiler alert, the kid is actually grandfather.
Yeah. Yeah.
So he's been brought through time a long way and...
Yeah.
And I think whatever... In, like, the first time traveler, she ends up dying, and I think it may be whatever Mac has.
Yeah.
I think it may have been the same disease, because she got it from something to do with time travel.
Yeah.
Just like Mac did.
Yep.
But,
it's really good.
Yeah. But I don't remember a lot of the stuff that happens. Mm-hmm. Because it has been a few months since I watched it, but... Not watched it, read it, whatever. But I do remember that part.
Yeah. Yep. But it was a good series, so...
Just hope it... goes longer.
Yep. Hope it comes back.
Yep.
All right. Well, let's get to our snack. So our snack for today was because... Wait, when did they have them?
When Dylan and Mac are shooting off the fireworks and everything, they had gone to the donut shop and got donuts, and they had ices also, because it made me want an icy.
Yeah.
So yeah, they were eating donuts then, and also when Tiff go to the coffee shop, they're like, Aaron, can we bring anything back for you? A donut or a bagel? But so they did mention donuts a couple of times in the show.
So we had some special edition donuts from Krispy Kreme, which they're calling Churros.
Yeah, which that sounds
name.
Awful.
But they're like churro themed, I guess.
Yeah.
So they're long johns or twists or whatever they're called.
Yeah, they're kind of like, they have these cinnamon twist ones that I I like, but usually they're only like one little twist, and this has two instead. Mm-hmm. But yes.
And we think we only got 2 of the flavors. We think they accidentally gave us 2 of one.
Yeah, I'm not really sure.
Yeah, it's hard to tell.
The two look very similar.
I think there's like chocolate drizzle on one of them.
No, there's not.
Isn't it darker
at them right
color?
now. I'm looking at them right now. Hold on, let me show you. Well, it's not chocolate though. It's the dulce de leche.
Right. Yeah.
But that's what it looked like.
Well,
yeah, I think we got 2 of those.
Yeah, maybe got 2 of those.
I think we didn't
have drizzle.
Yeah, I think we didn't get the cinnamon sugar one.
Yeah.
I think they gave us 2 dulce de leche and 1 cookies and cream one. But, I mean, that dulce de leche one was really good.
Yeah.
I liked it better. I thought I would like the cookies and cream one better.
Yeah, I liked it better.
But I liked that one better instead.
Yeah. It was maybe too chocolatey, I guess.
Yeah, maybe.
But it was so good.
Well, also, I don't really like cookies. I mean, cookies.
You don't like cookies?
I don't like chocolate and cinnamon together that much.
Yeah.
It's fine. It's just not my favorite kind of thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, there was a cinnamon sugar one. There's a dulce de leche one and a cookies and cream one.
Yeah.
And pretty sure we did not get the cinnamon sugar one.
Yeah. Because, I mean, I definitely wasn't like, oh, this is very churro-y.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, this is a donut.
Yeah. But the dulce de leche one had cream cheese frosting on it, and
yeah,
that frosting was really
good. Yeah, it was good. And they put a lot of it on there. There were like little holes that it was in.
It was like falling through the holes. Yeah. It was pretty nice.
Yeah.
So I did like those.
Yeah.
Not so much the cookies and cream one, but
yeah, it was fine.
Yeah.
And I don't know. It's probably better than the Cinnamon Toast Crunch ones.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, those were weird and stale.
Yeah, and we've only done the Cinnamon Toast Crunch one and the Twix ones as far as I can remember.
Yeah.
And this was probably my favorite of all of them that we've had so far.
Yeah.
Even though I didn't really like the chocolate one that much.
I liked the Twix ones. They
Twix
were pretty rich though.
And yeah.
Like, there might have been like 1 or 2 that I liked better than the other ones.
Yeah, those were probably... I like the Churro ones the best, and then probably the Twix ones. And then those Cinnamon Toast Crunch ones were just terrible because they were so stale.
Yeah.
That Cinnamon Toast Crunch they had on there was just... It was just the stalest Cinnamon Toast Crunch I've ever had in my life.
It brought it down.
Yeah, but these were pretty good.
So what are you going to rate? Let's start with the cookies and cream one, since we both don't like it as much.
Cookies and cream one, I'm probably just going to give it a 5. It was like middle of the road kind of
still a donut, so it's still good.
Exactly.
Well, what are you going to get? I'll give it a 5 also.
Okay.
What about the dulce de leche?
I'm probably going to give that one a
assuming
7.
7?
Because it was much better than the other one.
Yeah. I hate to just agree with you on this, but yeah, I think 7's about right. It wasn't, like... Because my favorite donut's always going to be the original Krispy Kreme. Yeah. And any, like, frosting on it and stuff, I'm always going to be like, I would just rather have the original. Like, no matter which one it is, I'm still just always like, wish I was eating the original right now.
See, I like glazed ones, and if it has any kind of frosting, although it's not really frosting, I like it to have, like, a chocolate.
Yeah.
Kind of a little bit of chocolate on there. But, yeah, I'm not a big fan of putting putting frosting on it.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
That's always going to kind of mark it a little bit down in my book, I guess.
So they are for a limited time. Go try them if you want. If you have the cinnamon one, let us know how it is.
Yeah, because I'm
didn't get it.
Pretty sure we did not get one of those.
Yeah, we did.
Because those two looked exactly
they
alike.
Were.
So I'm pretty sure we didn't get one.
They both had drizzle on them, which apparently the one's
the other one
supposed to have.
Yeah, does not have drizzle.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. But
oh, well.
I'm sure that cinnamon sugar one is probably the best one, and we just didn't get it.
Yeah, it would have been my favorite.
It probably would have been like a 9 or something. But, oh well.
Well, let us know if it's a 9. You can tell us on Twitter at HavingFunCast or on Facebook at HavingFunPod.
Or you can send us an email at havingfunpod@gmail.com.
And let Legendary know they need to shop around Paper Girls. Yeah, there's a train. Sorry, guys.
It's so loud. It's a train and there's also a storm.
Yeah,
so
a lot going on. But yeah, let Legendary know they need to keep Paper Girls going.
Yeah.
Because it's good. Go watch it and rate it. Support it.
Yeah.
And that'll be good.
We need that second season. Even if it's just one more season, that's all it really needs.
That's all we're asking for.
Yep.
Start the petition, guys.
Oh, and also the girls that they had playing the characters.
Oh, so good.
They're so good, and they also look so much like the characters.
Yeah. Great casting.
It's so good. The casting is great.
It really is.
Grandfather also, because he looks exactly like the character from the comics. Mm-hmm. They did a great job with casting.
They did. So go let them know.
Yeah.
And go have fun, and we'll see you next week. Goodbye.
Bye.